My platform is Ronnie Redd.
There you go. There you
on all platforms.
There
on
you
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, man. Hit that like and subscribe and share, man. Let me wake up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, man. God damn, man.
All right, man. I had a slow start, man.
Man, how much time you did at USP Coleman?
I did about 10 years. We speaking on Coleman, or we talking about what led to it all?
Well, while you was in Coleman, because when you went to Coleman, you weren't who you was today.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, because I would say it, but then I wouldn't say it. Because when I went to Coleman, it was almost like I just got transferred to another project. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I went to Coleman, man, you know, they sentenced me to 27 years. You know what I'm saying? I was almost 30 years old at this time. And when they sent me there, all I saw was drugs, alcohol. I'm talking about, violence. You know what I'm saying? Extortion. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, this is a USP at its highest level. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's bigger than the USP will be ADX. And really, nobody has contact with them, so they ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't in too much danger. But I said that to say is that, when I got to Coleman and seen that right there, man, it wasn't nothing rehabilitative about that. Let's just say that right there. You had, if you do your research right now, you had different occasions where police got caught up in groups of conspiracies dealing with inmates there. That's how deep it was. You know what I'm saying? Who under the warden? The captain. The captain was bringing drugs in over there, man. So yeah, man, it was corrupt, man.
Man, I remember you said something about a guy named Buck, and some of the people asked about
Old Man Buck.
Old Man Buck. They want to know some stories about Old Man Buck.
Okay, Old Man Buck, man. You know when I first got to Coleman, Old Man Buck was my first celly. Okay, Old Man Buck, y'all gotta hear this shit. He was my first celly, right? So when they put me in the dorm, it's like they put me in D unit, but inside D unit it's up and stairs. I mean, it's up and down, and it's 60 rooms at the bottom and 60 at the top, 2-man rooms. So when they tell me what room to go in, I go in there, ain't nobody in there. Now the first thing any convict gonna do is when they assign you to a room, you know, you really don't even go in there. You know what I'm saying? You really supposed to set your stuff by the door out of respect for the man that actually lives there. So I did all that right there. So when 4 o'clock count came, they put us in the room together. So I'm already psychoanalyzing this old nigga, right? He an old nigga. It's summertime. He got on a prison big ass jacket. He class A with his boots on. He got a little ass afro with a thick ass Steve Harvey motherfucking mustache. So I know he an old motherfucker. And I'm looking at his whole, you know what I'm saying, his whole motherfucking deposition, and I can see he a grumpy old fucker too. So when we get in the room and shit, he say, where you from, youngster? I say, I'm from Tampa, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah. He said, this after the door was locked now. They had them put me in there about 2. But this 4 o'clock count, so for about 2 hours, I'm just kind of just walking around the unit and shit like that. But I know he checking me out. Long story short, Buck had been in 27 years at the time I met him. He was an old man. He was in his 60s. He was a bank robber. That's all he did. He robbed banks. He didn't kill nobody, had no weird ass charges, nothing, but they gave him a life sentence. On that 4 o'clock count, Buck looked me in my face. He said, hey man, listen man. He said, you ain't no rat, is there? I said, no man, ain't no rat, nothing like that, man. I got my paperwork and stuff like that, because I got mine from the county jail. He said, you ain't no motherfucking homosexual. I say, no, OG, no, OG. Now I'm peeping like motherfucker crazy as a motherfucker, so I'm smoothing him down. I'm like, no, OG, ain't nothing like that. He said, cause listen, man, I'm gonna tell you something. That motherfucker lifted up his goddamn pillow. It was a rust-ass ice pick he had under that motherfucker, and say, look, when I'm unhappy, he unhappy. Don't let me have no shit out of you, young ass nigga. I said, hey, OG, I don't want no problem. I don't want no problem. You dig what I'm saying? But anyway, Buck ended up being my uncle in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Buck hated everybody but me. Buck was from Miami, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? But he was one of them old miserable niggas, but he was a good nigga, but he just couldn't relate to the youth. Like the youth had them pass Buck by. But he was a solid motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? He was a real motherfucker, stand-up motherfucking dude, didn't motherfucking rat. Wasn't gonna never rat. He hated police. He hated them in them. I'm talking about when he see him, he look at him with a look of disdain in his motherfucking eyes, man. But anyway, Buck died in prison, man. Buck used to come to my unit every day, bro. And everybody on the compound knew that, you know, that was, you know, Ronnie Redd, like, you know, this Ronnie Redd people, because Buck don't fuck with nobody. So it'd be like, man, Red, man, your motherfucking uncle down there at the door, so I'd give him money, little shit to buy him some tickets or something. Or he might come over there and want something to eat quite naturally. I got to feed his ass, you know what I'm saying? But he my big uncle.
Right. How long they had you in the cell with Buck before they had?
I just stayed in the cell with Buck probably about 2 weeks. But during that 2 weeks, me and Buck got a bond in that room, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's where the bond started at. So when I end up moving, because they wanted me to move on a whole a whole nother side of the compound where all the gambling and drugs was at, where it was popping. So quite naturally, I was trying to get there. You know what I'm saying?
How much time Buck had done did when you met him?
Man, I was fresh in the Fed, my nigga. I was 29 years old fresh in, and when I met Buck, he was in his 60s and had been in like 25 years then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, had done been in 25 years then. Man, I remember one day I'm in a cell, right, reading a book. So our cell was right in front of the sports TV. So I'm reading the goddamn book, and I hear all kind of hollering and yelling. Ain't no game on because it's a early Friday morning or something. But I hear a whole bunch of ruckus. What the fuck going on? I go out there, Buck at the TV, going crazy, saying the Miami niggas is trying to take over the TV. But he is from Miami now. But he's saying these young ass niggas from Miami and he was trying to take over the TV and he ain't going for it and he was going crazy out there. Mm. Buck died of a blood clot in his leg, man. Buck was in a wheelchair like a month before he died. I used to push him around and stuff like that right there, push him around the track. You know what I'm saying? Talk shit to him and shit. And talk player shit and pimp shit and he be lacing me up, you know what I'm saying? He was a good old dude, man. It's just the system made him bitter. You know what I'm saying? You get a man like that and throw him away like that. You know what I'm saying? They become, I done seen good dudes turn cold in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Straight up cold in that bitch with the way they just heartless. You know? And that's what that breeds in them, man.
Yeah. So you say he ended up dying in there?
Yeah, Buck ended up, probably like the second year after I was in there. So I was there with him, you might well say I got a chance to be around him for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And I got a chance to be around him for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen him in the wheelchair, I'm like, God damn, the first time I saw him, I'm like, damn, my nigga, what's up? He like, nothing, they say the blood ain't circulating in my leg and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So I used to get his old ass, you know what I'm saying, and push his old ass around the compound. You know what I'm saying? He might want a sip of wine or something. I might go buy him some liquor or something. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Just duck off with him and just fuck with him. You dig? And those are the type of relationships you build with some of them niggas in there, man. But anyway, Buck ended up, and I almost want to say that it was negligence on the behalf of the BOP. You know what I'm saying? Because it was signs that they could have did certain surgeries. If you know what I'm saying, had they done it faster, they could have caught it. But anyway, the blood clot busted some type of shit and he died, bro.
Yeah, how'd the medical end up, man? The medical situation inside of the feds.
Medical in the feds is better than medical in the state. All day long. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, I remember, like, this is how crazy it was. I remember when I first went in the Fed, right, the USP, and I was meeting niggas and shit. You gotta think I'm fresh in. I had them been, you know, in and out the state all my life, you know what I'm saying, back and forth. But this was a real sit-down, because these motherfuckers done gave me damn near 30 years, you know what I'm saying? So when I go in that bitch fresh, I'm meeting niggas that done did, like, yeah, man, I've been in 9 years. I'm like, that nigga been at 9 years? Well, I mean, a nigga been in 15 years. That was like a long, straight time to where they been on this compound right here for 15 fucking years of their life.
Right.
But guess what, my nigga? When I got to my 15, 20 years of shit, and I used to tell motherfuckers like, yeah, I've been in 10, 15, 20, and they frown up and go like, God damn, you been in that long, homie? But I was that same nigga looking at them.
Yeah, I met a dude, man, had them been on that same compound 19 years when the bid first opened. I said, damn. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
right. My paperwork won't
that's a long time.
Hell yeah, that's a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's either two things, and people have to understand, and I've said this on numerous times, you know what I'm saying, is that the USP is like night and day compared to what y'all think in y'all mind of what the feds is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think the feds is like peaches and cream and stuff like that, club fed and all the other, you know what I'm saying, shit. They're not talking about USPs, folks. That's not what they're talking about. When they're talking about fed and they talking about how luxurious it is and all that, yeah, guess what? In the USPs, niggas just done made a way. Meaning that they do live good in there. Niggas eat fried chicken, burritos, and pizzas and all that type shit, but ain't nothing sweet about it. Them niggas in there killing and stabbing every day, and that's what's going on. And it's paperwork being checked, it's politicking being going on. You go out on the rec field and there's 20 niggas over here and 20 Mexicans over here, and y'all ain't in their business, y'all ain't in their business. You know, we all huddled up trying to figure out our situations. And every day it goes on like that. I'm talking about, I done been to prisons where you can't take a shower without your homeboy standing in front of that motherfucker with a knife watching your back while you 2 feet behind him butt ass naked showering. Like that's a violation if I look up and I see one of my Florida homies at a shower at a place like Big Sandy, at a place like Pollock, at a place like the old bloody Beaumont. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back then. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn Aquarius, Lee County, certain places. But if you look up there and see your homie and ain't nobody standing guard for him, somebody in trouble for that. That's how serious that shit is, man.
And how active was Coleman Yard?
Say it again?
How active was Coleman Yard?
Coleman Yard was very active for definitely out-of-towners, visitors that was coming here from other states, meaning gang members and the gang culture. They was mainly the ones that was getting it as far as the killings and all that. Like, it ain't no Florida killings going on at Coleman. You know what I'm saying? Amongst each other. You dig what I'm saying? But there was a lot of other killings going on there amongst other shit that was going around us that we ain't have shit to do with.
So
the violence
mainly Florida had issues with their own situation, their own homies.
I mean, I ain't gonna say had issues because it never went left to a point of where Florida was on, like we was beefing with each other to a point of fighting. You know, it's just like, it was just so many of us there at Coleman. It's almost like it was one big steak joint. You dig what I'm saying? So everybody was segregated on their Tampa shit and Miami shit and Orlando and Tallahassee and all that, but we all fucked with each other whenever the time, you know what I'm saying, whenever it was time to fuck with each other.